Hello, hello, Vista Voyagers! Today is Friday. Let's do a quick dance for Friday. Friday, Friday. And we know on Friday we have High Five Friday. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Today is Friday, May 8th, 2020. And scholars, yesterday on Thursday, I got to do lunch bunch with our kindergarten friends from Hadley, and I was just so impressed by the courage they were all showing, raising their hand during lunch bunch and answering questions Dr. Zamora was asking them. I cannot wait to see that same courage today at High Five Friday. Remember when you dance and when you celebrate and you're just dancing around having a good time, it's all for fun. It's all for fun. It's just meant to have a good time. I know sometimes when I'm dancing, I get a little bit shy, and that's totally normal. It's okay to get shy. It's okay to get a little bit unsure of yourself. But know that when we dance for High Five Friday, it's just to have a good time, and I hope that you all can make it there today and have so much fun dancing along with your teachers. I know your kindergarten teachers are so excited to see you at High Five Friday and get to give shout outs for all of the core values that they're seeing you do online. You all are already showing our core value of hard work by tuning in to read alouds every day and growing our brains even bigger and even stronger so we can be ready for first grade. Raise your hand if you're ready for first grade. Oh my goodness, it's coming up so soon. I cannot believe it. Today, scholars, we are going to read a new story. The story is titled, How Cold Was It? As we read our story today, we're going to continue to look for hyperbole that the author is including in the story. Let's start today off strong. Show me that muscle, because his muscles are getting so big. Let's start off strong by reviewing some of the words we've learned so far in our poetry unit. Rhyming words, get ready, go. Rhyming words are words that sound the same at the end. Good. Onomatopoeia are words that make sounds. They're words that make. Good. And the one we've been working on all week, showing so much hard work and so much self-determination, is hyperbole. A hyperbole is, get ready, go. A hyperbole is an expression that is really exaggerated. A hyperbole is an expression that is really exaggerated. Wow. So today, as we read our story, we're going to continue to look for those hyperbole that the author includes. And remember, authors include these to make it more fun, to make it more interesting, and to draw attention or emphasize the point that they're trying to make about a character or an event. So let's hop right to it. Can we all hop on 3? 1, 2, 3, hop. Good job. We're all going to hop onto it and start our book for today. How Cold Was It? Written by Jane Barclay, illustrated by Janice Donato. Can't wait to read this story. I love the big, colorful pictures. When, find the sight word when. Nice job. Remember, you can point along on the screen if it helps you follow along, or you can track with those laser pointer eyes showing me that you're getting ready for first grade. When, get ready, read. When I woke up this morning, it was very cold. How cold was it? It was a freezing, sneezing, goosebumpy, teeth chattering, can't get out of bed, blankets over my head kind of cold. Stars, when we started this book, we reviewed our words. Remember, rhyming words is one way authors make their stories even more interesting, even more fun. What rhyming words did you hear on this page, on page 2? Let's look back in our text. I'm looking back in the text. Let's look towards the end of this page. There's 2 that I want to talk about at the end of this page. Can't get out of bed, blankets over my head. Oh, did you see them? Bed and head. Get ready, go. Bed and head. They both end in ed. Good, they rhyme. Nice job. So scholars, what are some ways that we could use hyperbole to describe it being really cold? I remember on page 1 in the text it said, when I woke up this morning, it was very cold. How cold was it? How can we use hyperbole? You know, hyperbole is an expression that is really exaggerated. How can we use the expression and a hyperbole to describe it being really cold? Put your fingers up to your brain. Say we're thinkers. What are some things we can think about that are really cold? I have a thought. I have an idea. I'm thinking about ice. I'm thinking about, yeah, I already know that ice is really cold. And if you remember Miss Coil, you remember me when we were back in the classroom, I always had iced coffee because I loved when my coffee was super cold. So I'm going to compare the cold weather to ice. I'm going to say with a hyperbole, it was colder than ice. Is it really colder than ice? No, but I'm using that hyperbole, that really exaggerated expression, to describe how cold it is. Let's look back on page 2. How did the author use hyperbole to show how cold it is on this page? Yeah, I think the author used hyperbole to describe what people are doing when it's really cold. Do you see some actions? Character actions are what the character does. Do you see some actions that the characters do on this page that show that it's really cold? Yeah, this whole page. Let's read it again. It was a freezing, sneezing, goosebumpy, teeth chattering, can't get out of bed, blankets over my head, kind of cold. I don't think that the boy did all of these things in the text. I think that the author is using the things that he could have done to show how cold it is. Like, I know when you're cold, you might be freezing. You might start to sneeze. You might get goosebumps on your skin. Your teeth might chatter. Good job. You might not want to get out of bed, like in the picture. I see him hiding in the blankets. And you might just put the blankets over you, hiding away, because it's so cold. I'm going to put that up as a chart. Keep reading. Nice job following along. So many beautiful pictures. This week we've had some really pretty illustrations in our stories. Outside, little brown birds huddled at the top of my neighbor's chimney, trying to keep warm. I lay in bed and listened to the wind whistle past. I watched as it shook the gray bones of the trees. During the night, an ice fairy had sneaked through the crack of my window and sketched a magical picture of silvery leaves on the glass. In the kitchen, porridge bubbled, coffee dripped, and my cat threaded her way between my shins. "Meout! Meout!" she cried. "It's too cold to go out, Cat," I said. How cold was it? Scholars, I have a question for you. Can you find some onomatopoeia on this page? I know onomatopoeia are words that make? Yeah, they're words that make sound. What words on this page make sound? Yeah, the one that sticks out to me the most too is meout, meout. Who is making that noise? Yeah, the cat. The cat is meowing. Nice job. Let's keep reading. It was a howling, meowling, fur ruffling, paw shaking, whiskers in the breeze, let me in please, kind of cold. Oh, he's describing again how cold it is by using the character's actions, describing some of the things that the cat might be doing in this cold weather. I sat at the table, poured milk on my cereal, and sprinkled brown sugar on top. Out on the porch, the wind whipped the snow into tiny white drifts, like meringue on a big frozen pie. Underneath the fir tree, I spied a fat black squirrel, trembling as it searched for buried seeds. Why might it be hard for the squirrel to find seeds right now? Why might it be hard for the squirrel to find seeds right now? I'm sustaining the information throughout the story, thinking about what I already know. We've been using hyperbole to describe how cold it is. Oh, I'm thinking about the setting. Setting is where and when the story takes place. How is the setting going to help me out with that? Yeah, we know it's winter time, and in the winter time, what happens, scholars? Yeah, in the wintertime it snows. Okay, so why is that important? Yeah, you're definitely thinking like a first grader. Why is that important that it's snowy outside? Yeah, because the snow is covering up the ground, which might have seeds there. So then the seeds are a little bit more difficult for the squirrel to find. So why might it be hard? Okay, because it's snowy outside, and so it's burying some of the seeds and the food that the squirrel is looking for. Let's keep reading. I could hear my dad trying to start the car. He came in the front door, stamping the snow from his boots. Man, it's cold out there, he said. How cold was it? It was a car wheezing, engine seizing, snow shoveling, ice scraping, temperature falling, taxi calling, kind of cold. It was time to go to school. I put on my snowsuit, hat, boots, and mitts. Then my mom wound a long scarf around my face. I trudged down the sidewalk, boots crunching in the snow. Steam rose from between the metal teeth of a sewer grate, and I imagined a snow dragon awakened by the bitter cold. I broke some icicles from a fence and stuffed them down the grate. Frozen food frozen food for the hungry dragon. In the schoolyard, the swings rattled and snow hissed down the slide. The wind bullied me past the rink, where snow devils chased each other in an endless game of tag. Inside, we sat at our desks, and the teacher said, "My, it's cold out there." How cold was it? It was an ear-ringing, cheek-stinging, wet tears, dry cough, feet are froze, so is my nose, kind of cold. We went to art class and cut out giant snowflakes and hung them up with string. In story time, we read a book about Arctic explorers. During math, we filled in our thermometer charts and learned all about minus. When the last bell rang, I braced myself for the walk home. I pulled my hat down over my ears, scrunched up my shoulders, and opened the door. The cold pounced on me and licked my face. I ran past the rink and the playground, my breath escaping in foggy clouds. I stopped at the sewer grate and peered into its frosty mouth. "Hello, down there," I called to the snow dragon. Then I hurried up the street. When I finally made it home, my mom said, "Goodness, you look..." Nice job, Voyagers. Goodness, you look cold. How cold was it? Are you ready? See if you can follow along with me. I know that these start to rhyme, and it's really fun if you read it with some expression. It was, get ready, read. It was a hat-grabbing, scarf-nabbing, nose-running, lip quivering. Both ears are red, numb from toe to head, kind of cold. When I finished my snack, my mom asked me to get some bread from the freezer for supper. Chills crept up my body as I headed down the cold basement stairs. I dashed across the icy floor and yanked open the freezer door. A blast of frigid air shot up my sleeves. I grabbed the bread and raced upstairs, the cold snapping at my heels. Late that night, I lay under my blankets and listened as the spine of my house cracked and popped. I watched the stars shivering in the dark sky and thought of the snow dragon asleep in its cold winter bed. But my bed was nice and warm. How warm was it? It was as snug as a bug, big hug. Wool socks, 2 quilts, fireplace heat, cat at my feet, kind of warm. Oh, look at that orange cat. That reminds me so much of my sister's orange cat. Do you remember my sister's cat? If you forgot, I'm going to show him again right here. He's such a silly cat, but I agree at the end of the story, just like they were nice and warm in bed, it's so nice to be warm in bed under the covers with the cat snuggling at your feet. So nice. So guys, throughout this whole story, the author was trying to make a point. He kept emphasizing it with the characters' actions, and we even described how we could use hyperbole to describe exactly the point that the author is trying to make. What was the big point the author was trying to make in this story? Yeah, good thinking. The author was trying to point out and emphasize, really exaggerate the fact that it was so cold. Throughout the whole story, the author used character actions to really show us how cold it was. Awesome job finding that hyperbole in our story today and thinking about the other hyperbole as we read. Today is Friday, and again, I hope you were able to join us at High Five Friday. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday in general. I hope it's just a wonderful day, and I cannot wait for next week because, scholars, guess what? Say what? Yeah, next week we have new books that we're going to get into, and one of the books is one of my absolute favorite books ever. I love this book. I have read this book so many times. Second graders even read this book too. Whoa. I'm so excited to get into those stories with you next week, so I can't wait to see you then. So if you have some work to send your teachers, or some poems that you have written, or some hyperbole that you've come up with, we even found onomatopoeia as we read today. I want you to write them down and send a quick picture to your teachers so that I can show them in next week's videos, because scholars, you're the Vista Voyagers doing all the hard work, and we want to celebrate you. We want to show you to everyone and celebrate your hard work and your self-determination as you keep on keeping on Vista Virtual. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye, scholars.